What's going on, football fans? We're back in with our third and final game preview of today. In this game, we're going to be highlighting the Packers and the Panthers. Now, this is a huge game for both teams in terms of playoff positioning in the NFC. For the Packers, it's a must-win. They basically have to win out and hope for help. For the Panthers, it's basically about keeping pace with everybody in their division. I believe that they're technically in a tie, but they're actually a game or two back of the Saints based on head-to-head record. So for the Packers, they're getting Aaron Rodgers back this week. It's a huge lift for this team as Brett Hundley was able to keep them in playoff range for a wild card. Obviously, getting Rodgers back is huge for the Packers in so many more ways than just one way. That's a huge emotional lift. You get arguably the best quarterback in the NFL back. And if your team makes the playoffs, who wants to face Aaron Rodgers? So, looking at this matchup here, for the Packers, it's a must-win. For the Panthers, it's just about, they're right now on the 5th seed. They pretty much control their own destiny type of thing. They need a win. Obviously, a win puts them at 10 wins. And 10 wins basically kind of puts you in an area of power almost, in terms of that you'd be 10-4, and you're pretty much basically one win would get you into the playoffs. 11 wins probably get you into the playoffs anyway, because there's such a logjam with the Seahawks, the Falcons, Lions, Packers, and Cowboys. All those teams are still at 7 wins and 6 losses. 8 and 7 wins. Some teams have 6 losses. The Seahawks are the only team with five losses, and they're technically still in it as well. With obviously the Rams and the Seahawks play this weekend, so that'll be another game that we look at. But yeah, this is a huge game for the Packers. So let's jump into this matchup here. Some things to look at this weekend is going to be Aaron Rodgers versus taking a hit. Now in this game, the Panthers are going to be wanting to send a lot of if I'm the Panthers defensive coordinator, I'm sending a lot of blitzes at Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to trust my corners and one-on-ones. Devontae Adams has turned into a very, very good receiver. Probably the best receiver on that team. No offense to Jordy Nelson, but he's probably the best receiver on that team, Devontae Adams. So looking at, the Panthers defense, I would be trying to send a lot of blitzes. I'd be trying to hit Aaron Rodgers as much as I can, see how he reacts to a hit, because the collarbone, if you land on it wrong again, you're probably going to break it. It's a good chance that you could break it again. So, if I'm the Panthers defense coordinator, I'm sending blitzes. Aaron Rodgers has to be able to take hits. He has to be able to stand in there, take those hits, and deliver the ball on time to his receivers. Now, the only thing that might be a problem is the timing. Obviously, this is his offense. He knows his offense. He knows where his receivers are going to be. He knows everything, basically, in this offense. So, for Aaron Rodgers, this is going to be going out there, doing what you do, being one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. If you start the game off by taking a couple hits and you're good, if I'm the Panthers defensive coordinator, I'm going back into my game plan of sitting in probably a zone or with some double safety action going on and making sure these guys don't beat me deep. Number 2 key matchup in this game is going to be the Panthers running game. Jonathan Stewart had a huge game last weekend in their win over the Vikings. I would expect them to go after it again. The Packers run defense it's okay, not that good. It's probably about average, I guess you can say. So for Jonathan Stewart, Christian McCaffrey, and Cam Newton, it's going to be about getting those yards that you need to stay ahead of the chains. Cam Newton looked like his old self last weekend. It was a great team win for him, especially beating the Vikings. That's one of the best teams in the NFL. But yeah, for the Panthers, it's going to be about pounding the rock. Jonathan Stewart, getting those tough yards. Christian McCaffrey in the slot, staying ahead of the chains against the Packers defense and keeping Aaron Rodgers on the sidelines. Obviously, I think the Panthers' game plan is going to be to eat as much time of possession as they can and hoping their defense forces some turnovers. The third and final key matchup of this game is going to be how the Packers run their offense. With Aaron Rodgers, they do tend to throw the ball more, but when they didn't have Aaron Rodgers, they were able to run the ball really well with Jamal Williams last week. Aaron Jones, when he was playing, even Ty Montgomery had run the ball really well until he got hurt. Obviously, if you're able to have some semblance of a running game, it helps Aaron Rodgers a lot because then he can do what he does best, which is rolling out, making plays on the move, play action. So if they come out with a very balanced attack, it's going to be very tough to beat this team. Obviously, their defense has to play some very good, solid defense against Cam Newton. Have to be able to hit Cam Newton. But if the Packers offense comes out and balanced and they're moving the ball well, look out, rest of the league, if the Packers get into the playoffs. So jumping to our 3 reasons why here, 3 reasons why each team will win the game. Let's go and start with the Packers. With the Packers, it's all about Aaron Rodgers. If he completes like 70% of his passes, 65 to 70% of his passes, no turnovers, 3 touchdowns, 300 yards, I don't know what to tell the rest of the NFL, but that man is back. That's not good for the NFC. They need to keep him out of the playoffs because I wouldn't want to face Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs if he's coming back in his first game back and he does something like that. So that's something. If he comes out and does something like that, I think the Packers will win this game. Number 2 for the Packers, stop the Panthers' running game. Hit Cam Newton as much as you can. You know, rock the boat. You know, you have to be able to slow down Jonathan Stewart. You have to be able to stop Christian McCaffrey in that passing game and Cam Newton in terms of design quarterback runs. So keep Cam Newton in the pocket. You know, force him to beat you with his arm, not his legs. And, you know, for the Packers, if he throws the ball 40 times, that's a win for you. Because there's probably a good chance that you probably force a couple turnovers. And number 3, for the Packers, get your running game going. You know, Jamal Williams has run the ball really well. They've used him in the passing game. He's done really well. You know, Aaron Jones is good as a change of pace guy. So if you're able to get your running game going, that opens up so much more in the offense in terms of play action. You know, Aaron Rodgers can do his thing in terms of rolling out, making plays on the move, using his legs to extend drives, things like that. So if they're able to get their running game going, they have a good chance to win this game. Now for the Panthers, hit Aaron Rodgers. That's the first key for you guys if you guys want to win. Hit Aaron Rodgers. You need to sack him 3 or 4 times. If you sack him 3 or 4 times, force him to throw the ball before he's ready, you can win this game based on the fact that you can force some turnovers. I would try to strip sack, fumble him if you could. Do what you got to do to hit Aaron Rodgers legally and clean, obviously. So, something like that. Number 2, Panthers running game goes for about 170 total yards of rushing. If they're able to do that, they can easily win this game. Force Aaron Rodgers to sit on that sideline. Keep that Packers defense on the field for 30, 32, 33, 34 minutes in this game. And those guys will be tired in the 4th quarter, and that's when Jonathan Stewart can break off some big runs. Christian McCaffrey can break off some big runs. Cam Newton on some design quarterback runs can break off some big runs. Opens up the play action for Cam as well. And number 3, force turnovers. For the Panthers, they have to force turnovers in this game. I think if they can come away with a +2 in the turnover differential in this game, they can easily win this game. I think that they're playing really well right now. Obviously, you know, they're going to make they should be able to make the playoffs as a 5 seed. And if they make the playoffs, look out for this team because they have the things that you need for the playoffs. So, if they're able to force turnovers in this game, you know, hit Aaron Rodgers, get him on the ground a couple times, slow down Jamal Williams in the running game, keep Devontae Adams in check. They have a great chance to win this game. My prediction for this game is that I believe that the Panthers will win this game. It's going to be really close. I think Aaron Rodgers does go over 300 yards in this game and throws for 2 touchdowns. I just think that because the Panthers' running game is so dominates most of their game plan, I think that they're going to be able to come out here and run the ball really well against the Packers' defense, opening up holes for Cam Newton and quarterback design runs. Jonathan Stewart wears them down late in the game, and Christian McCaffrey does his normal thing in the slot and has a couple touches on the ground, and he gets some big gains. I think that the Panthers will be able to win this game. I think they'll win 24-17, basically ending the Packers' playoff hopes because 7 losses basically keeps you out of the playoffs unless you get some ridiculous help. Therefore, making Aaron Rodgers return all for naught and just building for next year. So I think the Panthers will be able to win this game 24-17, 24-17 or 24-20. I think they'll be able to win the game 24-20. That's my preview for this game. I think that's it for today. We'll do a couple more tomorrow. So, thank you for watching, and I'm out. Make sure to check out my other videos. Peace.